His name is President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, now retired. He is a man who took over the reins of power in unexpected moments when Kenya was only 15 years old as a republic, following the sudden death of the nation's founding father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
Mimi, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa Jamhuri ya Kenya na kuitumikia kwa moyo wangu wote, na kwamba nitahifadhi, nitalinda na kuitetea katiba ya Kenya kwa mujibu wa sheria iliyowekwa.
And would go on and lead the country for 24 years, nearly a quarter a century. Current Garissa Senator Mohamed Yusuf Haji served as Rift Valley Provincial Commissioner and then for 2 separate terms, a combined period of 11 years. Rift Valley was President Moi's home province.
And what I learned from Mzee Moi is that he's man of his word. He's very conscious about the welfare of Kenyans. People can say all sorts of things.
Former Deputy Prime Minister and now ANC party leader Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi joined President Moi's cabinet at the age of 28 and a half years and would later rise to serve as his last vice president.
So what do I think of Moi? This was a very resilient individual. A lot of major challenges came into his tenure. And he was able to overcome those challenges, of course at a cost in certain instances, but whether we like it or not, let us at least appreciate that this is an individual who held the country for 24 years, but he still maintained a unified nation. The internal dynamics aside,
they both remember retired president as a leader who spent long and odd hours in office and also a stickler to timekeeping. So is Kotu boss Francis Atwoli, a KANU party life member.
Well, the president was concerned with everything that happens in the country. He can call you anytime, and you can call him anytime. I remember occasionally calling him at 2 a.m.
So one of the things that the Moi government succeeded in doing is that even for the younger people or for those who would once in a while want to have their drink, those surprise calls and surprise summons kept some measure of discipline so that people, because he was a teetotaler, kept some measure of discipline that you have to be at your best because you do not know when this Mzee is going to summon you and what will it be for.
Moi was, he played the way Joe Kadenge used to play football as number 9, for those people who didn't see him. So Moi was a dribbler, a person who could get out of any problem at any time.
Having served as his backyard regional commissioner, Haji, who says 3/4 of his life has been in public service, had mastered 2 or 3 things about Mzee.
I will not stand in any presidential function and repeat the brief that I have given him, because that would be that you are preempting whatever he was going to talk. So I used to make very short speech.
While Mudavadi remembers this day when he met Mzee Moi in his true colors, it was in mid-90s when the country was in a financial crisis. Bretton Woods institutions, the IMF and World Bank, had withdrawn funding. Mudavadi as finance minister and his then permanent secretary Benjamin Kipkulei were summoned to State House for a crisis meeting where they found a furious host waiting for them in a corridor.
He was restless and very agitated on this occasion. My then PS, Benjamin Kipkulei, went out to greet him, and then he spoke in Kikalenjin and he said, "Jamugevo yo," and then tried to extend the hand to Moi. The man was livid. He said, "Kwende huko na hiyo Jamugevo yo yako." Mimi nimewangoja, nataka nijue nini kinaendelea. Ingieni kwa ofisi mara moja tuzungumuze. Wachana na hiyo mambo ya Jamugevo yo. Now, this was Moi.
They say Mzee Moi had the country's interest at heart and meant well for the nation, a matter that is subject to political debate.
I attended the meeting that removed Section 2A at Kasarani. And all of us, we were saying we don't want that part of the constitution to be removed to introduce multi-party democracy. But, you know, after people had talked, everybody had talked, the old man stood up and he said, "I understand international politics and I don't want my people to die, but let us allow this, but we will play our own politics to make sure that Ghana remains in power."
Then there is this untold story, how he arrived at Uhuru Park grounds alone on December 30th, 2002 to hand over power to his successor Mwai Kibaki. Moi was alone and braved the charged NARC supporters who nearly made the swearing-in ceremony difficult.
We asked him, should we come with you to hand over? And I think the intelligence had told him that people are so charged. There's a complete lack of order at Uhuru Park. Moi then said he would rather go alone. He was not treated very well, to be honest. People threw mud at him. Objects were being hurled at him. Insults. But the fact that he went there and handed over speaks volumes about this individual. That when you've gone through a democratic process and the people have made a decision, you must hand over. To me, that is a tribute that we must never forget.
When he took over as the country's second president, many perceived him as a passing cloud, but he went on to lead the country for 24 years, a record that will never be achieved by any other person in Kenya after the dynamics of leadership changed. Perhaps how he remained afloat confirms why they called him as the Professor of Kenyan Politics. The story of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. My name is Duncan Haemba. This is KTN News.